guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and pleased to be, it's Deb C. Bloop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, and happy Saturday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend and had a great day today. I am having a fantastic weekend. Thank you for asking. And it's just been a nice weekend where I don't have any plans made for me. So there we go. I love it. Okay, so this is a video that has been delayed a few days. I actually watched, well, this aired on Wednesday. I didn't watch it until last night. So I didn't watch it till last night, not for lack of wanting to, just, I don't know. I just didn't. So I'm talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So we're going to get into it. Before we get into it, hello to everybody who is new to my channel. There might be some new people. And so hello to everybody, and an extra hello to anybody who may be watching this, any of the ladies that may be watching this, who I work with, who have just recently joined. So I want to say hello, everybody. You're used to seeing this face. Well, you're used to seeing this face for the huddles. So this is my face. Hello. So let's get into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Okay, so let's get right into it. They have lunch. Okay, so we know the night before there was that big blowout. Lisa was asked to, well, Todd had told John, listen, if Lisa can't calm down, then you guys are gonna have to go home. So they had lunch the next morning, or the next day. That was awkward. It started off very awkward, very quiet, very awkward. And then Lisa and Bronwyn start talking. Lisa starts telling Bronwyn about how Heather was telling her how she felt about what Bronwyn had said to her. And it was coming along. She was talking, and as Lisa Barlow likes to do. And Bronwyn thought, it's coming. It's going to be coming. I feel like I might get an apology. I might get, not really. Because Lisa Barlow then had to take a dig and say, at least she wasn't lying like some people. That was a dig at Whitney. So there goes any chance of Bronwyn getting any kind of apology from Lisa. Lisa's not going to apologize because Lisa Barlow doesn't ever think she's wrong. So then John Barlow steps in, and just like Bronwyn had said, well, look at that. John Barlow just had to ask a question and everything is solved. Oh my gosh. That's all we need. It's for the men to step in and clear up our silly women's problems. Oh, everything is great. I love Bronwyn. John also says that my wife has never lied about anyone at this table. Lisa has never lied about anybody at this table. I don't know if that's true. AI Nick Lachey then chimes in. I'm going to tell you, AI Nick Lachey, he stood 10 toes down on business this episode. And I'm not mad at it. I mean, he stood up to Lisa Barlow. We find out later he stands up to Meredith and Seth. So I'm not mad at it. But AI Nick Lachey, a.k.a. Sean K., he then he brought up how Lisa would talk to Angie on the phone, and it was like borderline abusive. And he was like, I don't understand how the fuck you would how somebody could talk to somebody else like that. And like I said, Lisa Barlow, she can't admit to being wrong. And she doesn't say, I'm sorry for talking to you like that. She says, I have a different way of speaking, and maybe you don't understand me. Seriously. That's like telling somebody, I think that dress, like if you're wearing a new dress or if you get a haircut and you're like, oh yeah, I just went and got my hair cut. Oh, I know, I noticed. It's ugly. And then if you're like, well, that hurt my feelings. And then she would say something like, well, I'm sorry that you have such a fat face that doesn't look good in that haircut. I'm sorry if you got offended. That's something that she would say. See what I mean? Like it's a backhanded, not even a compliment. It's just like, she can't be sorry. She can't say I'm sorry. She can't say she's wrong, ever. Okay, now back in Utah, listen, that scene where Mary went into Robert Jr.'s room and him and his wife were just laying in bed eating. Well, first of all, laying in bed eating like that. Listen, I'm all for eating breakfast in bed on a nice, like, little, tray, like a nice raised tray. Okay, but that wasn't it. And let me just tell you, I felt bad for Mary because I know that Mary has spoiled him and has babied him. I think it's just because of the fact of like how she was raised, and her mother wasn't there for her and her mother didn't do for her. So maybe that's why she's the way she is with Robert Jr. But those two were high as a kite. And no, I'm going to tell you, I myself have never done drugs. Listen, and I'm not saying that to be like, oh, I'm a prude. I just, number one, I can't do anything that is illegal because I'm so paranoid and so worried about things that I'm doing that are not illegal. You know what I mean? That, like, seriously, if I were to smoke weed or something, I would be so damn paranoid that I would just probably not even be able to handle it. And I'm just sometimes a mess without anything at it. So that's what I'm saying. They were, from what I understand, from listening and watching other people talk about this, there were like things that were laying around that you use when you are doing hugs. So we're going to say hugs, that when you're doing hugs that were scattered around the room. I feel bad. I feel real bad for Mary, but something got to give, and something is going to give, because from what I understand, Robert Jr., I don't know if he is still in rehab, but he went to rehab. So good for him. Back in Palm Springs? Well, back with the party. I don't know. Why? I don't understand why they had to spray their husbands down with cooking oil. Like, you had to spray them down with some Pam to play beach volleyball. I know they were trying to make it look like the Top Gun scene. Y'all can't. The beach volleyball scene, don't spraying them down with some damn cooking oil. So then later on that night, they have the anniversary party. And Todd's anniversary present to Bronwyn, dude, $4 million around the neck. Oh, shit. That's we're going to get into that later. But Bronwyn's anniversary look, that was beautiful. That was absolutely gorgeous. But then, I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but when they're standing around, they had like other friends outside of the Housewives that were there. Todd with some shade. He's like, this one over here, she got a tequila company. It's a mediocre tequila. I'm just saying, I've never tasted it, but I don't know how many people carry Vita tequila like nationwide. So I don't know. I mean, I would say that I would buy it and taste it. I don't know. I'm not I'm not an expert in what tequila tastes like. I don't know the nuances, so I wouldn't be able to tell. But mediocre tequila, that sounds probably about right. Okay. Listen, there's issues in that marriage. There's issues in that marriage between Bronwyn and Todd. The first sign was last week. But another sign was when Bronwyn was given a toast. And she said, this is kind of like our marriage. Miserable but beautiful. And I thought, This isn't giving totally copacetic 100% happy. I agree with Meredith. There's a little bit of mild tension going on between Todd and Bronwyn. And you don't really see them like, they don't walk next to each other. They don't hold hands, and I don't know, like, and I love Bronwyn. I love Bronwyn so much. So then they play the not so newlywed game, because they always have to have a game. Okay, so it's fun until there's a little bit of tension between some people. So first of all, it's Lisa Barlow versus Justin. They talk about what happened at Angie's party. He apologizes for coming like so hard at her after she came at him, and then she apologized for putting him in that situation. That's the closest that you're going to get to her saying, I was wrong. And with that, Whitney says the whole Alibaba situation and talking about it is done. We'll see. Then it was Meredith and Sean. So she had apologized. They had talked earlier. Her and Sean, AI, Nick Lachey, Sean, had talked earlier. She apologized for spreading rumors last year, about Sean sleeping around with men. But she says Sean never gave her an apology for what he supposedly said on a podcast about Brooks. So now she's bringing it up now. And Sean's like, listen, he's irritated, and rightfully so, because they talked earlier. He was under the impression that everything was cool, that they figured everything out, they ironed it out, everything was good. And now here she comes bringing it up now, when if everything wasn't good before, she should have just said, everything's not good. Can we continue this discussion? Which I completely agree with. Now, Sean is 100% standing 10 toes down on business, on the fact that during this podcast that he didn't say what Meredith said he said. And she's saying that he said that she uses Brooks's sexuality to like deflect from her own bad behavior, and Whitney's like, so tell me what did he say? So what did he say? Can you tell me what he said? She can't say anything of what he said. She can't remember it. She'll look later. You see Seth looking down probably at his phone, and then he pulls out his phone and throws it up in Whitney's face. This it's not even the article. It is a clickbaity headline from a blog about what was said, not the actual article, just this clickbaity blog, throws it up in her face and is like, how about, here it is, biatch, or something like that. But he says biatch and is like that, like right in her face. I'm going to tell you what, it took everything for Whitney to not jump over the table. I could tell that it was taking Justin, everything in him, not to jump over that table. Because listen, you might think it's funny when you say biatch, but you're calling her a bitch. Just in case you're wondering, green tea with some lime and honey. Delicious. Yeah. If I was her, I would jump right on over that table. And listen, I'm going to tell you, he says once again, he's like, if I had said anything, Sean, he said, if I had said anything about your son that was wrong or that was terrible, then I would apologize. But I'm going to double down and I'm going to tell you, I'm not apologizing because I didn't say anything wrong. Good for you. Good for you for standing up against Meredith and for standing up against Lisa previously. Good for you. So Angie then comes in and she thinks she's lightening the load. I can see what she's doing. She's thinking she's going to lighten the load by bringing up, oh, tell me what's going on with Gwen getting to see her grandmother. And Todd immediately shuts down. We're not going to talk about that. And it's nothing good. It's not good. We're not going to talk about this. And Bronwyn then, is trying to talk about it and kind of smooth things over. Lisa had good intentions, but it's just not something that's going to happen. And Todd immediately shuts it down and is like, we're done. We are not talking about this anymore. I'm not talking about this. We're done. Done. Listen. And afterwards, in a confessional, Bronwyn was like, I was afraid that the ladies were going to be the ones to embarrass me, but it turns out it was Todd. I'm going to say this right now. There ain't no necklace big enough or expensive enough for you to be able to talk to me like that. I understand that Todd is protective of Gwen and of Bronwyn. However, his delivery of that message could have been anything but that, and it would have been okay. That was terrible. That right there, you know what that was giving me? That was giving me a Tom Girardi vibe. You know the scene I'm talking about. Whenever Tom and Erica were having dinner with LVP and why can't I think of Lisa Vanderpump's husband's name? Mr. Vanderpump. It's gonna come. Is it Todd? Wait. Lisa and... Why can I not think of her husband's name? Oh my God. Ken. That's it. It's Ken. Is it? It's Ken. Whenever the four of them were having dinner and they were talking, Todd. Mr. Girardi. What's his name? Tom. When Tom was talking to LVP, and then Erica jumped in and said something, and he was like, we are talking. I didn't ask you something. See, he got real snippy with her. That's what that reminded me of. That reminded me of a father just berating his daughter. That was so ick and so cringy. Like I said, there is no amount of gifts that anybody could buy me that would make me be okay with being talked to like that. As soon as that happened, I was like, oh, this isn't, no. There's more going on in this situation. I'm telling you, there is more going on in that situation. And when I say that he was giving me Tom Girardi vibes, I'm talking the way that he would talk to Erica. Listen, none of the criminal vibes. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying just how he would sometimes talk to Erica. And the way that Erica and Tom would interact is kind of the way that Bronwyn and Todd interact. Like, you didn't really see Todd and Erica, or Tom and Erica, like hugging or kissing or holding hands or doing this and that. Same with Bronwyn. I'm gonna tell you what. Nope. And if I was a friend that was there, oh, I would have probably visibly gasped and been like, oh, the fuck? No, thank you. So, the next day they go to a racetrack and they watch the races and everything. And then they get home and Lisa and Bronwyn talk. Bronwyn says that she feels like, hey, maybe me becoming friends with your friends is causing a problem here. She goes and tries to talk about it. And then Lisa, of course, can't let her talk because she has to talk. Because the world revolves around Lisa and what Lisa has to say. I'm going to tell you right now. Bronwyn, you ain't never going to see this video. Bronwyn, Lisa don't give a shit about you. You and Lisa have been friends for years. She brought you on the show. It's apparent to me she cares way more about Heather and her feelings than about you. Which, in my mind, I was thinking that her and Bronwyn had a for real relationship, like a real friendship, and not a friendship that is just cultivated for, the show. It's just there for the show. She don't give a shit about you. Meanwhile, Bronwyn has defended Lisa. Lisa can't do that for Bronwyn. Lisa's always going to have Heather's back, which I have no idea why she's so far up Heather's ass and can't even bother to defend her good friend Bronwyn. Like, what is there? I mean, does Heather have something on Lisa, or what's going on there? I don't understand that. So Bronwyn's thinking, so either Lisa doesn't want to hurt her friendship. I'm thinking either Lisa doesn't want to hurt her friendship with Heather, or she thinks Bronwyn is a two-faced bitch. That's what Bronwyn says. And then she says, listen, and she says that to her. Either you don't want to hurt your friendship with Heather, or you believe what she says and you think I am a two-faced bitch. But right now, your not saying anything speaks volumes. It tells me, I think, what I need to know. And she's saying, am I terrifying? Do you think I'm terrifying? No, you're not terrifying. And she's trying to get her to be like, no, you're not a two-faced bitch. And she can't say anything except talking about how Heather was feeling. When I'm telling you, when Bronwyn said, I'm going to put the bar all the way on the floor so you can trip over it. Bronwyn, you earned, if not the first chair. Listen, Give Bronwyn the first chair. Give Bronwyn the first chair. You gave Monica the first chair last year. Give Bronwyn first chair at the reunion because she owed this. She is owed that. She's holding her own with all these OGs. So Confessional Lisa Barlow comes up and she's like, if I'm being completely honest, I do think she's two-faced. And I can't trust her 100% of the time. Listen, wow. And you ain't two-faced? And Heather isn't two-faced? You all, listen, y'all have talked about each other behind each other's backs. Guess who's the one who is going to come out and own up to it? And that is Bronwyn, not you, okay? And I'm going to say another thing. How Bronwyn is acting right now, keep her on this show until the wheels damn fall off. Keep her on for 20 years. I'm going to say this though. Do I think Todd is going to let her come back? I don't know that Todd is going to let her come back. Here's what needs to happen. If Todd ain't going to let her come back, we don't need Todd. We don't need to see him on our screens. Just like with Robert Sr. Robert Sr., you don't see him? Good. Take Todd. Todd don't want to be on TV. Todd don't like none of this, so we don't need him on our screens. That got me so worked up. Okay, so next day, they're getting ready, or no, is it the next day? Whenever. They're getting ready to leave. Everybody, listen, everybody has been booked a flight home. All right? Bronwyn did that. She paid for everybody's flight home. There's 4 seats up in first class. Of course, it's their anniversary trip, so her and Todd get 2. Then everybody else is in the back. Lisa Barlow having to throw a hissy fit because she has to sit in coach for 47 minutes. Before she found out she had to sit in coach, she was like, John's like, I'm so excited to see Henry again. Oh, me too. I can't wait to see Henry. Finds out that they're going to be in coach. And then the fool is like, well, I can't find any other flights that have first class. Maybe we'll just fly to LA. So you're going to fly to LA and then fly from LA to Salt Lake City. I thought you said that you were just excited to see your son. No, that was fucking ridiculous. Once again, she's going to fly to Los Angeles just so she can get another flight so she can fly on first class? No. I know a lot of people are like, oh, but that's Lisa Barlow. She's iconic. That's not. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Listen, for this trip, Bronwyn said it. For this trip, she had a private jet. Lisa Barlow had a private jet there. She got Lisa Barlow and John Barlow a gift on her trip. A gift for each of them. They stayed in a beautiful house that they were paying $20,000 a night for. And you're still complaining? Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, thank you. So listen, in the comments, let me know what you thought about this week's episode. I was not missing Heather Gay at all, not in the least. So it looks like we got a little bit of a trailer, a little bit of a teaser for the rest of the season. Girl, there's a lot going on. There's going to be a lot more going on. So, like I said, in the comments, let me know what you thought if you watched. If nobody has told you yet today, your love is seen and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Please be aware of your surroundings. Be safe. Hydrate often with water or maybe an iced coffee every now and then. And also, if you're in a dangerous situation, please be aware, be mindful, be aware, be smart, be safe. And know that Dolly and I are sending our love and thoughts, prayers, and all the positive energy that you need for you to make it through anything that you're going through. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.